Good morning. Coming to you live this early morning in the gym in Salem Park, New Mexico. This is the 343 commitment and still counting 110 floors for our brother, firefighter Lawrence Veling, off of engine 235, Brooklyn's Eye of Bed-Stuy. This is now the last brother of the Eye of Bed-Stuy going to the very top, which is also housed there with Battalion 57. So it's engine 235, Battalion 57, there in Brooklyn. We're going up to the 110th floor, total of 7 verticals to go all the way to the top. The last 7th vertical will get us to the 101st floor, and it's only 9 floors after that with this memorial climb for our brother, Lawrence Veling, who was 44 at the time of his response on 9/11, the most senior firefighter on engine 235. So this 110 floors is to give honor and respect for the sacrifices made so that others can live. Dedicated to his wife Diane and his children, Ryan, Cynthia, and Kevin, who were just young kids at the time. So right now, for our brother who had 15 years of service to the citizens of New York, we're going to the top. Again, total of 7 verticals. And here we go for Lawrence Veling. It said that our brother was a firefighter with engine 235, but it said he also co-owned a deli, and after that he went to work as a custodian for the Department of Education there in Manhattan. So our brother was married to Diane and had 3 children. It said that he found he had talents he never even knew, and our brother turned out to draw characters from Blue's Clues in chalk on the outside sidewalk. He would draw Blue, Mr. Pepper, Mrs. Pepper, Slippery Soap, and Tickety Talk. And his son Ryan would just cry more and more and more. So our brother would just continue to draw for his son. It said he played with coloring books. He colored in coloring books. He was just a great overall father to his 3 children. He went in full uniform to the school. Our brother's legacy will never be forgotten. His story will continually be shared. This is why we climb. Right now we're taking up the last brother of engine 235, housed there with Battalion 57 in Brooklyn, the Eye of Bed-Stuy. So this 110 floors is given in honor and respect to share his story to his wife Diane and 3 children, Kevin, Cynthia, and Ryan, will know that their husband and father will never be forgotten. Our brother responded as one of the 343, the worst terrorist attack on United States soil, where because of the bravery, valor, and heroism that was shown, saved upwards of 25,000 people. This is their climb, finishing their footsteps in Tower 2, where our brothers in engine 235 responded to shortly after the second crash. The second tower was hit. They went in not knowing what was going to happen. but they still went in to go into rescue mode to save as many lives as they could. Our brother was a senior man on Engine 235 and said that he took a moment to tell his guys that this is the kind of fire where bad things happen, that they needed to stay close to one another. This is his climb, given with honor and respect for our brother who was 44 years old on 9/11. A husband and a father to 3 children. Our brother who will never be forgotten. So yesterday we had the worst rain we've had in a very long time, and right now the gym is just completely humid. I'm not even 25 floors in, and my mask is completely fogged over because of the humidity inside the gym now. Right now this is 110 floors, given in honor and respect for the sacrifices made so that others could live. Our brother went into the South Tower shortly after that second plane crashed into it, went into rescue mode with the rest of Engine 235. They will never be forgotten. This is why we climb, to tell their stories so they don't just become a name on a plaque or a picture on a wall. Man, it is humid in here. All right, still see the steps, so we're still good. For our brother, Lawrence Veling, Agent 235, out of Brooklyn, the Eye of Bed-Stuy, in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, with Battalion 57, who I believe Battalion 57 was Dennis Cross. They responded on Battalion 57. So, this 110 floors is for our brother to be carried to the top. Coming to you live in the gym in Sunland Park, New Mexico. This is the 343 commitment, and still counting, 110 floors for our brother, Lawrence Veling, of the Eye of Bed-Stuy. Carrying him up with honor and respect for the sacrifices made so that others could live. I saw a Newsday article where I believe it might have been firefighter Gregory Smith was talking about how they thought they knocked it down on a fire in a brownstone, and the fire came back up on them and rolled out over their heads. And he was talking about our brother Veling having the nozzle and holding the fire so the rest of his crew could get back down the hallway. Our brother stood there and ensured the safety of his crew, from what I read. It was also said that our brother took the nozzle into the South Tower, Tower 2. This is to honor their sacrifices that were made so others could live. This is to tell their stories so that it does not become a name on a plaque or a picture on a wall, but their families are remembered, their legacies are remembered. This is why we climb. On this stair climber, in stairwells, in coliseums, and on runs all across the United States and across the world, that we will never forget the sacrifices, the response, and what came after with the recovery effort at Ground Zero. Those who worked the pile for days, weeks, and months, up to the almost 9 months before the recovery effort was declared complete, with the removal of the last beam, which now sits in the 9/11 Memorial Museum there in New York City. Those that succumb to 9/11 illnesses and cancers. After the initial 343 are completed, they will rise. They will take their memorial climbs. God willing, as many as I can complete. For our brother, Lawrence Veling, off of engine 235. Our brother was a husband to Diane and a father to Kevin, Cynthia, and Ryan. This is your climb, so you know your husband and father will never be forgotten. Our brother worked for the FDNY for 15 years. He was 44 years at the time of his response to 9/11. Our brother was also a co-owner of a deli and had started working for the Board of Education as a custodian in Manhattan, cleaning and repairing the facilities there. We will never forget the sacrifices, the bravery, the valor, and the heroism that was shown in response to the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil 19 years ago on 9/11/2001. For almost to 20 years. We will never forget, but instead we will always remember. We as a country made a promise. And sadly, that commitment and that promise to never forget is going away. But on our part, we will never forget. We will always remember. No matter how many years have gone by, whether it's the 20th year, the 25th year, it doesn't matter. There are brothers, your families, our extended families, and do this for our country, to keep that promise. For firefighter Lawrence Veling, Engine 235, out of Brooklyn, Battalion 57, the Ave Bed-Stuy, Bedford Stuyvesant, Brooklyn. Right now, this 110 floors is to finish his footsteps in Tower 2. As our brothers went to work shortly after the second plane crashed into Tower 2. This is all for them. Carrying them up symbolically with me right now as we take this journey to the 110th floor. We're about to get over the halfway mark with only last 3 verticals in this very humid, moist, whatever you want to call it, gym at this moment. The mask is completely fogged over again. So Here we go with going on third to last vertical in this 110 floors for our brother Lawrence Veling, a firefighter with 15 years of service to the citizens of New York, known as the senior firefighter on Engine 235. The senior firefighter with hidden talents. It turns out that his son, Ryan, loved Blue's Clues. And our brother, firefighter Veling, turned out that he knew how to draw the characters from Blue's Clues. So he would take chalk on the sidewalk and with rapid succession, he would draw out Blue the dog, Mr. Pepper and Mrs. Pepper, Slippery Soap, and Tickety Tock. All while his son Ryan was yelling more and more and more in joy. Our brother was a father to his 3 children, Kevin, Cynthia, and Ryan, a husband to Diane, and a brother that we will never forget. To the rest of the Veling family, this is dedicated, Veling. This is dedicated to his honor. Going to the very top on this now third to last vertical for our brother. Going up with honor and respect. 2 more verticals after this gets us to the 101st floor. And another brother has reached the top. Our brother had his primary job with the FDNY. He was the owner of a deli, taking care of his family, and he had recently started a job as a custodian and maintenance with the Board of Education, and he worked there in Manhattan, doing whatever it took to take care of his family. This 110 was given in honor and respect. For Engine 235, the final climb. For Engine 235, they're out of Brooklyn, housed with Battalion 57, the Eye of Bed-Stuy. Taking them up as we go to the very top. The second to last vertical coming up to reach the 110th floor, symbolically going up with me right now as I carry him up to the 110th floor, finishing their footsteps off the South Tower to go all the way to the very top. And we're going there now. Try this blast mask on again. See how long it lets me go before I can't see again. And it's completely fogged up because of all that rain we had yesterday and the humid feeling inside the gym. We got just torrential downpours yesterday. They said it could have been a tornado in that system. It was that bad. There were reports of 70-mile-per-hour winds. I think we ended up getting 8 calls in 2 hours. And for a department our size, it's a lot of activity. Back to back to back to back to back. So hopefully today's weather will be different. We're coming to you live at the gym in Sunland Park, New Mexico, with the 343 commitment, and still counting. 110 floors for our brother, firefighter Lawrence Veling, off of engine 235 out of Brooklyn, housed with Battalion 57, the Eye of Bed-Stuy, in the Bedford-Stuyvesant section of Brooklyn. All right, here we go with the second to last vertical. We've already gotten over the halfway point in this 110 Memorial Stair Climb for our brother out of Brooklyn. 15-year veteran, on the job 15 years. And our brother was 44 years of age at the time of his response. The senior man on engine 235, when they rolled into the South Tower shortly after the second plane had hit, our brothers didn't hesitate and went to work, not knowing what lied before them. They just went in and did it anyways. They will never be forgotten. They will never just become a name on a plaque or a picture on a wall. This is why their stories are told. Their stories are shared with anyone who wants to listen and learn. For their families, the FDNY, and our country, we will never forget, but instead we will always remember. This is why we climb. Pushing them up. All right, for our brother, Lawrence Veling. We're going close to that last vertical. We're almost there, with honor and respect being given for those sacrifices made so that others could live. As I said before, they went into the South Tower shortly after the second attack. The plane hit. Our brother said that he gathered into 235's crew and told them, stay close together. This was one of those types of fires where somebody can get hurt. He will never, ever be forgotten. His caring, his kindness. It said he brought cookies to the firehouse for his brothers. He took care of other people's children. He'd wear his full uniform to school for the kids. We cannot forget, ever. It's just the way it is. We will always remember. And now we're on the last vertical to get to the 101st floor. After this, we have 9 floors left in this memorial climb for our brother, firefighter Lawrence Veling, off of engine 235, housed with Battalion 57 in Brooklyn, the Eye of Bed-Stuy, or Bed-Stuy, in Bedford-Stuyvesant. We're on that last vertical now. pushing him up to the very top. This is why we climb. To share his story for his family, the FDNY, and our country. To know that we will never forget, but we'll keep our commitment to always remember our brothers, their families, and the sacrifices made, the legacies left behind. It's just the way it is. Coming up on the last half to get us to the 101st. And here we go, almost to the top. Pushing him. First. 9 floors left now to finish off his climb. To carry the last brother of the Iron Bed-Stuy into 235 to the top. As we go up, we honor their families, the FDNY, and we keep our promise and our commitment to never forget what happened on 9/11, 2001, and the rescue effort, and those that followed, and the recovery effort, those who worked the pile for days, weeks, and months, until the almost 9 months later termination of the recovery effort. Those that succumb to 9/11 illnesses and cancers, they will begin to take their turns after the last 18 brothers are carried to the top in the initial 343 commitment. For his wife Diane, children Kevin, Cynthia, and Ryan. Our brother now is the 325th brother to be carried to the very top. This is the 13th and final milestone of 25 brothers to reach the 110th floor and 3 more floors. Our brother will never be forgotten, and the 18 brothers that are left over will be carried with honor and respect. Since August 2016, when this started for firefighter Agnello on the ladder 118, to July 12th, 2021, almost 5 years later, 325 brothers now sit at the top. Our last brother, firefighter Lawrence, is now at the top. Brother, take it easy. We got it from here. You will never be forgotten. 325 vertical.